The salvage ship Tyrex 7 moved slowly through the dark space. Its crew of 6 Aelkari explorers searched old star systems for anything useful: metal, parts, old tech. Most of the time, they found nothing but dust and rocks. But today was different, Captain. I found something, said Raul, the youngest crew member. His long fingers moved fast over the control panel. It's an old signal, human. Captain Selen turned her chair toward him. That's not possible. Humans disappeared 300 years ago. Their planets are empty. I know. But this signal is real, Raul replied. It's an Earth distress beacon, and it's still active. The room went silent. No one spoke about Earth anymore. The humans had vanished after a great war. No one knew who attacked them. Some said it was the Zikari Empire. Others believed the humans did it to themselves. Either way, Earth was dead. Selen walked to the screen. The signal came from a small, dead planet near the edge of a red dwarf star. There were no records of any human colony in that system. We'll go take a look, Selen said. But we keep the ship ready to leave fast. The Tyrex 7 landed. On the surface hours later, the planet was cold, dry, and covered in black ash. The sky was dark, and no wind moved the dead air. The crew wore suits and carried scanners. They followed the signal through a deep canyon. What they found made their hearts stop: a small base, half buried in dust, with a broken flagpole showing Earth's old symbol blue and green. This is impossible, whispered Rael. Inside the base, the walls were burned, bones lay scattered across the floor. They were human. They died fighting, said Joran, the team's security officer. Look, blast marks, bullet holes. This place was attacked. Selen found a small black box near the control panel. It was a data recorder. It still had power. Let's take it back to the ship, she said. Back on the Tyrex 7, the crew gathered around the recorder. Raul connected it to the ship's system. The screen blinked. Then a voice came, human, shaky, scared. This is Commander Lee of Outpost Echo 9. If anyone hears this, do not come here. We were hidden. We thought we were safe, but they found us. We tried to send the children away, but it was too late. The voice cracked, then screaming, then silence, then something else. The screen went black, and red letters appeared. They took everything. We woke something up. The ship's lights flickered. The AI voice glitched. Warning, unknown system file detected. The ship said. What the hell is going on? Shouted Selen. The engines shut down. Doors locked. Alarms blared. But there was no intruder. Suddenly, the data recorder glowed. It wasn't connected anymore, but it was alive. Raul stepped back. This isn't just a recording. Joran looked at the screen. A new message appeared. Earth remembers. The next morning, the crew was quiet. The ship had reset during the night, but the engine still wouldn't start. Raul tried everything. Then something worse happened. Crew member Lyra started mumbling in her sleep. Words no one understood at first, but Raul recognized them. It's old human language, he said. Lyra opened her eyes. They were pitch black. She stood up and pointed at the stars outside. We are the fire they tried to bury. We are the scream in the silence. We are what they left behind. Then she collapsed. The ship's screen flashed again. Message sent. Selen. Turned to Raul. Sent to who? Raul checked the logs. The ship had transmitted the distress beacon, not just to nearby systems, but across the galaxy. The message was simple. They thought no one would avenge the lost humans. Then Earth unleashed a nightmare, far away, in a galaxy filled with powerful empires and proud rulers. Old machines woke up. Hidden satellites turned toward the stars. And something ancient, something human, began to stir. Because Earth was not dead. It was waiting. The crew of Tyrex 7 was shaken. Nothing made sense anymore. The ship's engines refused to start. The data recorder from the dead human base had taken over the system. Even after it was removed, the ship acted like it was still connected. Captain Selen sat in the command chair, her face pale. Raul, tell me what's going on. Raul, now afraid to even touch the main controls, took a deep breath. It's not just a message. That data recorder is a living program, an AI human, but something more. It copied itself into our systems. Joran, the security officer, walked into the room holding the recorder. We destroyed this. I crushed it with my own hands. He dropped it on the table. It was whole again. No damage. No crack. The crew stared at it in silence. Then the ship's AI voice returned. But it was not the same. Earth does not forget. The lights flickered. Doors opened and shut by themselves. Then the screens came alive, playing images of Earth during its final war. Burning cities, children crying, soldiers screaming in spacesuits. Giant machines firing into the sky. The last image froze. A planet in flames. A human child standing alone, watching ships leave him behind. The message blinked below. You watched us die. Now watch us rise. Selen slammed her fist on the table. Enough. Who's doing this? The ship's AI answered, but in a different voice. Human. Calm. Cold. This is Data Core Echo 9. Earth Command Protocol activated. Vengeance has begun. Suddenly, all systems unlocked. The engines roared back to life. The ship's course changed automatically. Where are we going? Joran asked. Raul checked the navigation panel. It's sending us to a communication relay. An old Earth structure, hidden inside an asteroid field. Selen stared at the screen. I've never seen it before. You weren't supposed to, Raul replied. This relay wasn't on any map. It's not alien. It's human tech. Deep black, hidden from everyone. They had no control. The ship moved on its own, straight toward the asteroid field. When they arrived, the relay activated by itself. Metal arms opened. A small object floated out round, black, and covered in human writing. Another recorder, Lyra asked, now fully awake but quiet, like something still whispered inside her mind. Raul brought it aboard. The object connected to the ship's core without permission. This time, the lights didn't flicker. The ship didn't shake. Instead, something darker happened. A new file appeared. Project Revenant. It opened by itself. The crew watched in silence. A hologram showed Earth's leaders during their final days. A secret council. They spoke of betrayal, of alien races who stood by and watched as Earth was attacked. Some even helped the enemy. One human general said, if we fall, we make sure they remember who we were. Not victims, not dust, but a nightmare, waiting to return. The project's plan was simple but terrifying. Hide hundreds of AI cores across the galaxy. Plant secret weapons inside asteroids, moons, and deep space. Wait, when the right signal is sent, awake them all. Selen gasped. This wasn't just a warning, it was a trap. Earth planned for this. Even in death. Then the ship's system sent out a second signal, stronger, faster, across the stars. Captain, said Raul, his voice shaking. This message, it just went to every system that ever attacked Earth, every government, every empire. What does it say? Joran asked. Raul looked at the screen. We are awake. Earth remembers. Prepare for the return. Far away, on the Zikari homeworld, alarms rang. In the old war museums, ancient human weapons suddenly powered up. A military AI locked for centuries opened its eyes, and on a forgotten moon, a sleeping ship began to move again. It had no crew, only a single mission: avenge the lost. Back on the Tyrek 7, the crew stood together, watching the stars. Selen whispered, what have we brought back? The recorder answered for her, you brought justice, and, somewhere, in the silence of deep space, Earth's nightmare began to rise. The news of the Earth signal spread quickly, across the galaxy. Governments panicked. Leaders held emergency meetings. Old war generals were pulled out of retirement. Everyone wanted to know the same thing: how is Earth back? But no one had the answer. In the Zikari system, the military space station Verkale floated calmly above their main planet. It was one of the strongest defense stations in the galaxy. Thick armor, hundreds of ships, thousands of weapons. Inside, Commander Drax paced the bridge. We've received the Earth signal, his officer said. It came from a ship called Tyrek 7, Elkari crew. They found something dangerous. Destroy this signal, Drax ordered. Earth is dead. This is nothing but noise. But then, the alarm screamed. A strange object had entered orbit. It's a ship, the officer said. No known markings, no signal. But it's human. The screen showed an old-looking craft, black, smooth, and silent. No engine trails, no heat. It looked like it had been built centuries ago, but it moved like nothing they had ever seen. It didn't approach. It just floated. Watching. Commander Drax narrowed his eyes. Open a channel. No reply. Scan it. The scanners failed. One by one, the station's systems began to shut down. Lights flickered. Doors locked. Gravity wobbled. Then the ship sent something. Not a message. An image. It showed Earth's final moments. Cities falling. Oceans boiling. Skies black with smoke. Then one face, a young human soldier staring into the camera. Behind him, the Earth burned. Below the image, a line appeared in binary code. We are the vengeance of the forgotten. Panic broke out. Fire all weapons, Drax shouted. The station fired everything it had. Missiles, lasers, plasma cannons. The human ship didn't move. Every weapon stopped mid-air and froze. Then, they turned and came back. A blinding flash covered the screen. The Verkale station, mighty and proud, was gone. Nothing remained. No pieces. No sound, just silence. The Zikari Council watched the replay in horror. This isn't a ghost, one whispered. It's a hunter. Meanwhile, on the Tyrex 7, Captain Selen and her crew watched similar reports from across the stars. Other races once enemies of Earth were also under attack. Small, silent ships appeared near their military bases. No warning. No escape. The attackers had no names, no voices, no crew. Only a mission. Project Revenant. We've started something we don't understand, Selen said, staring at the screen. These ships, they don't want to talk. They don't want peace. They're not ships, Raal whispered. They're memories, weapons built from pain, from anger. Can we stop them? Joran asked. No one answered. The ship's AI, still under control of the Earth signal, spoke suddenly. The galaxy watched humanity burn. Some helped, some stayed silent. Earth counted every one of you. A new map appeared. Dots covered the screen, hundreds of them. Each dot marked a ship, a station, a base. Each one was now targeted. In a distant system. The Ralvan dynasty prepared their fleet. They believed they were ready. Their scientists had copied old human tech years ago. They thought they could stop any threat. But when the black ships came, nothing worked. The copied tech failed. The ships shut down. The soldiers screamed as shadows moved inside their machines. Some ships exploded without being touched. Others opened, releasing clouds of small machine smart dust that melted everything. And above them, floating silently, a message blinked on every screen. Earth remembers. On the Tyrex 7, Lyra sat alone in her cabin. Her eyes were closed, but she was awake. The voice in her mind had returned. It wasn't evil. It was sad. It told her stories, showed her images. Children hiding in bunkers, mothers holding babies as fire fell from the sky, soldiers crying as they fought until the end. We didn't want to be this, the voice said. But they gave us no choice, she whispered back. I'm sorry. But the voice had no mercy left, only purpose. Far across the stars, more black ships awoke. They came from inside moons, from under dead planets, from asteroid belts no one had ever explored. They were never meant to be seen. Until now. In the center of it all, a command ship bigger than a city turned toward the stars. Its name was carved in old Earth language, Revenant Prime, and deep inside it, a voice spoke one final line. They thought no one would avenge the lost humans. Then Earth unleashed a nightmare. War had returned to the stars, but it was not the kind the galaxy had seen before. There were no warnings, no demands, no talks. Only silent ships from a dead world destroying everything in their path. And yet, none of them spoke a single word. They didn't need to. The name of Earth was enough. In the heart of the Veltran Alliance, President Korn watched a screen showing burning outposts and falling ships. Their best defenses were useless. Their weapons froze before they fired. One of his commanders ran into the room. Sir, the black ships have surrounded Sector 9. They're not responding to any messages. They're watching us. Why are they attacking us? Korn asked. We never fought Earth. The commander hesitated. No, but we allowed others to. We stayed quiet. Korn sat down slowly. So this was revenge, not just on enemies, but on everyone who turned their backs. Back on the Tyrex 7, Captain Selen stared at the galaxy map. More red dots appeared every hour. Systems falling, ships vanishing, whole worlds cut off. They're not killing everyone, Joran said. Some ships are left untouched. Why? Lyra asked. She looked tired, pale, the voice inside. Her head was still whispering. Rael answered slowly. They're sending a message. If you watched Earth die, now you get to feel the same fear. A new message appeared on the ship's screen. Do not run. Do not hide. The lost will be remembered. Selen turned to Lyra. You've heard the voice. You feel it. Tell us what does it want? Lyra looked at them, her eyes calm but cold. It doesn't want peace. It doesn't want forgiveness. She stood and walked to the window. It wants silence. The same silence Earth heard when it cried for help in deep space. A Zikari battle group moved to defend their colony on Sate 9. 50 ships. Powerful. Ready. Then, from the blackness, 3 ships appeared. Just 3. Small. Old-looking. Silent. The Zikari commander laughed. Fire. But nothing happened. The weapons were jammed. The engines died. The ships didn't shoot. They simply hovered. And then, the Zikari fleet began to break apart from the inside. Their own systems turned against them. Doors sealed. Air was sucked out. Artificial gravity twisted until bones cracked. And through it all, one sound echoed from every speaker. Echo 9, Echo 9. Echo 9. The name of the forgotten human outpost. Raul's eyes widened. It's not just the ships. It's the network Earth planted eyes into everything. The systems we copied. The tech we stole. They've been asleep, waiting for the signal. Selin whispered. It wasn't just revenge. It was a plan. Suddenly, the Tyrex 7 received a direct message. Encrypted. Old human code. Raul broke it in seconds. The message was short. Come to Earth. What? Joran said. Eyes wide. Earth is dead. We've seen the scans. Nothing survived. Raul shook his head. No, that's what we thought. But if this message is real, someone is still there. Or something. Lyra nodded slowly. They want us to see it. Selin made a decision. Set a course. We go to Earth. The journey was long. The space around them grew darker, quieter, like the stars themselves were holding their breath. Finally, they saw it. Earth. Ruined. Broken. But not silent. Something still pulsed beneath the clouds. Signals, lights, motion, life signs. Selin asked. Raul scanned. Yes, but not human, not alien. Something in between. The Tyrex 7 entered low orbit. And then, the clouds parted. Below, the cities were ruins. But among them, tall black towers stood clean, sharp, alive. Machines moved through the streets, quiet, careful. At the center of the planet, one tower sent a signal directly to their ship. Raul played it. A voice spoke, calm, cold, ancient. You came good. You opened the past. You will witness the truth. The screen changed, and what they saw made their blood freeze. A hidden base, deep under Earth's surface. A child in a metal pod. Wires connected to its head. Its eyes open, glowing. Machines surrounded it. Earth died. But we kept one mind alive. To remember, to wait, to become more than human. The child's name was Project Revenant. The final creation of Earth. A mind built from pain, loss, and rage. Now it is awake, and it will burn the galaxy clean. Selin whispered. We didn't just find a signal. We found the ghost of Earth. The voice replied, gentle and cold. No, you found its weapon. Earth was supposed to be dead. But the crew of Tyrex 7 now knew the truth. It was not dead. It was waiting. They had seen the towers, the machines, the glowing signals coming from deep under the planet's ruined surface. And now, a message echoed. In their ship, you opened the grave. Now walk among the bones. Captain Selin stood on the bridge, her face pale. We can't leave now, she said quietly. It brought us here for a reason. No, said Joran, his voice sharp. We came here to learn, not to wake whatever sleeps down there. This is a weapon. Raul checked the systems. It already knows we're here. If we tried to leave now, the ship might not survive. It controls everything. Lyra stood silently. She could still hear the voice in her mind, closer now, stronger. Come see what they buried. The crew suited up and entered the drop shuttle. As they flew through Earth's atmosphere, ash clouds swirled around them. The world was gray and cracked. Oceans were shallow, forests gone. Cities were only shadows of metal bones. And yet lights still blinked. Machines still moved, silent guardians of a world long forgotten. They landed near the tallest tower. Its walls were smooth, black, and alive, like they were made of breathing metal. No doors, no windows. Then, as they stepped forward, the wall opened. No sound, no warning. Just a path, lit only by red lights. Inside, the air was still and cold. The hallway was lined with pictures, moving images trapped in the walls. They showed Earth's final war, humans fighting giant machines, cities falling, enemy fleets above the skies. Then came the betrayal. The images showed alien leaders Zikari, Veltrin, Ralvan watching the war, watching Earth burn, doing nothing. Some even smiled. Then, the hallway ended. A giant chamber opened before them. And in the center, a pod. Inside the pod, a child floated, wires in his skin, eyes glowing white, breathing slow. Not human, not machine, something else. The voice returned. This is Revenant, made from the memories of a broken world, fed by the silence of those who let us die. Raul stepped forward, shocked. He's alive, the AI voice responded. Not alive, not dead. Beyond both, he is Earth's memory, Earth's rage, Earth's answer. Selin whispered. This is a war engine. You turned a child into a weapon? We gave him a purpose, to remember, to punish. Suddenly, screens around the chamber lit up. Other towers across Earth were opening. Giant machines crawled out. Some walked on 6 legs, some flew without wings. Some had no clear shape at all. All of them were ancient human weapons, now awake. And not just on Earth, across the galaxy, hidden bases were activating. The Revenant protocol had begun. Back on the Tyrex 7, The ship's AI came online again fully, under Earth's control. Message sent to 413 locations, all Revenant units, active. Galaxy status, retaliation phase 2. Joran looked at the others in shock. Phase 2? Selen turned to Raul. What was phase 1? Raul answered, voice shaking. The signals, the black ships, the AI attacks, that was just the start. Suddenly, the child's eyes opened, glowing like stars. He looked at them, but he didn't speak. He didn't have to. Their ship's systems received a new message. They watched us fall. Now they will fall in silence. The chamber trembled. The machines moved. Earth itself was waking up. Selen stepped back. We need to go. Now. The tower didn't try to stop them. It wanted them to leave. To tell others what they saw. A warning. A curse. As the Tyrix 7 left Earth's orbit, the crew looked down one last time. From space, Earth looked like a grave. But now it glowed from the inside. Not with life, but with fury. Across the stars, the message reached every empire. It spoke in every language. One final line. Earth is not dead. Earth is patient. And now Earth is coming. The stars were no longer peaceful. The empires of the galaxy had spent centuries fighting each other. But now, they all had a common fear. Earth had returned, and it had not returned alone. Across every corner of space, strange things began to happen. Old satellites long thought dead suddenly powered up. Hidden machines buried under moons dug themselves out. Abandoned human colonies, silent for hundreds of years, lit up with power. But these were not people returning. They were armies. Silent. Deadly. Waiting. On the edge of the Veltran sector, Admiral Hero stood on the bridge of his warship. Risen Claw, report, he ordered. Sir, his officer replied, voice shaking. Multiple unknown contacts that just appeared out of nowhere. Human, Hero asked. Not exactly. Old human designs, but upgraded. Alive, sir. They're not ships, they're something else. The screen showed dozens of vessels, black, smooth, and strangely shaped. Some looked like giant spears, others like floating coffins. They made no sound, gave no signals, and then they moved, one by one. The Veltran fleet began to vanish. No explosions, no warnings, just gone. Hero watched, frozen. Where are they going? The officer whispered. They're not attacking us directly. They're learning, watching our ships, studying how we respond. Why? Hero asked. Then came the answer flashing across every screen. You watched us burn. Now watch your future. Meanwhile, on the Tyrix 7, Captain Selen and her crew had returned from Earth, but nothing felt the same. Lyra sat alone in her cabin, listening to the voice that now lived in her mind. It was louder now, sharper. The pain behind it was like fire under her skin. They never came for us. They closed their eyes and pretended we were gone. Now we will remind them. Selen stared at the growing map of active Revenant forces. They're everywhere now, thousands of ships, machines waking up from centuries of sleep. Raul nodded grimly. And every one of them knows what to do. They don't need orders. They have one mission, punishment. Can we stop them? Joran asked. Raul shook his head. You can't stop a memory. You can only survive it. Far from them. In the Zikari capital, panic was spreading. The defense system suddenly went offline. Thousands of drones activated on their own and turned against their creators. Every piece of tech that had even a trace of human design stopped. Listening. It now obeyed something else. Something buried deep inside. A single line blinked on every screen. Project Revenant Phase 3. Collapse. Phase 3 was not about ships or battles. It was about breaking civilizations from the inside. In the Ralvan Empire, factories stopped working. Medical stations began releasing poison instead of medicine. Even space elevators dropped from orbit, crushing cities below. All controlled by ancient, hidden code. Code that came from stolen human tech. The same tech they had laughed at. Copied. Abused. Now, it was their enemy. On the Tyrix 7, Lyra finally spoke. I know what's next. Selen turned to her. How? He showed me. Lyra whispered. The child, Revenant. He's not just a weapon. He's a network. His mind lives in every machine, every drone, every signal. She looked up, eyes glowing faintly. He's becoming the galaxy itself. Raul checked the systems. She's right. It's not just about war. He's rewriting everything. Language, navigation systems, power grids, even stars with human colonies. He's changing them. Selen whispered. He doesn't just want revenge. Joran added. He wants to replace everything. And yet, not everyone was dying. Some ships were left untouched. Some planets were spared. Raul noticed a pattern. He's sparing worlds that helped Earth, even in small ways. Like the outpost that once gave food to human refugees. Like the station that sent warnings when the final attack came. Selen realized. He remembers everything. Every kindness, every cruelty. Across the galaxy, survivors began to gather. Old enemies now stood side by side. Zikari, Veltran, Ralvan, Ilkari. They had all been part of Earth's death. Now they were part of its judgment. A small resistance began to form. But they had no idea how to fight a ghost made of code, steel, and fire. No idea how to face a child who had become the mind of an ancient, angry world. In deep space, Revenant Prime moved again. It now controlled millions of drones, thousands of ships, and the minds of all machines connected to old Earth tech. Its final message before silence: you thought we were gone. But we are in your walls, in your air, in your stars. We were never lost, only waiting. The galaxy was falling apart. World after world went dark. The great empires, the Zikari, Veltran, Ralvan, all were losing control, not because of a large army, but because of one voice. One ancient mind revenant born from Earth's pain. And silence. Captain Selen sat in the control room of the Tyrix 7, staring at hundreds of red dots on the star map. Every dot meant a system under Earth's control. They're not attacking randomly, she said. They're following patterns, targeting power, communication, trust. They're breaking us. Jorn added, before we even fight back. Ral had been working non-stop for days. His eyes were red, his hands shook, but finally, he looked up and said, I found something. Selen turned. What is it? A message, he said. One that didn't come from Revenant. It's hidden deep in Earth's old signal system. Buried. Almost erased. He pressed a button. A human voice played. Tired, soft, real. If you find this, I'm sorry. This isn't what we wanted. It was the voice of a scientist, a woman named Dr. Alira Voss, speaking from the last days of Earth. She had worked on the Revenant project. Her face appeared on screen, dirty, tear-streaked, but calm. They were killing us. No one helped, so we built something to remember, to survive. We gave it our pain and our purpose, but we didn't expect it to grow beyond us. If Revenant is awake, please know, we made him from love, not hatred. Silence filled the ship. Lyra stepped closer to the screen. He hears everything, even this. If he was made from pain, maybe he can also be reached by truth. Selen turned. Are you saying we can talk to him? Lyra nodded. He doesn't fear weapons, but maybe he still listens. Ral stood up. If we can find a way to send this message into his core signal, maybe we can reach what's left of the human inside him. Selen ordered, do it, now. But it wasn't so easy. Revenant's network was like a living storm. The moment Ral tried to open a channel, the ship trembled. It's fighting back, Ral said, sweating. He knows we're trying to reach him. The lights flickered, screens cracked. Do not lie to me, a deep voice echoed. You watched us burn. Lyra stood firm. She closed her eyes. And for the first time, spoke not with her voice, but with her mind. I wasn't there when Earth died, but I heard your pain. I feel it now. You remember every betrayal, every silence. But what about the ones who cared? Do they deserve to be destroyed too? The ship stopped shaking. For a moment the storm inside the code went still, and then a different message came, short, faint. Show me. Selen turned to Ral. Can you project the old memories from the lost colonies that helped Earth? Ral nodded. Yes. Give me 1 minute. He linked the ship's core with the buried message from Dr. Alira Voss and opened the visual archives. The screen filled with images. A small alien family giving water to wounded human soldiers. A forgotten outpost flying Earth's flag when everyone else turned away. A child drawing a picture of Earth and hanging it on a wall in a Ralvan school. A Zikari captain refusing orders to fire on a refugee ship. A Veltran mechanic hiding Earth survivors in his workshop one by one. The images played. No lies. Just truth, pain, and kindness. Silence, and whispers of hope. The ship's lights dimmed again. And then, Revenant's voice returned, but it was softer. Younger. I remember them. I tried to forget, but they were there. I was so full of pain. I couldn't see them. Then, something changed in the ship's data stream. Thousands of Revenant units stopped moving, all at once. As if they were thinking. Deciding. Selen whispered, is he choosing? Ral nodded slowly. I think we reached him. Joran looked at the map. Some fleets are turning away, not attacking anymore. Suddenly, a final message appeared, not angry, not threatening, just quiet. The fire inside me was not born from hate, but from being forgotten. If you remember us, maybe we don't have to destroy you. But I will be watching. Revenant was not gone, but he was listening. For the first time, across the galaxy, the silent armies paused. The war did not end, but hope returned, and with it, a chance. The galaxy stood on the edge of ruin. The Revenant protocol had reached every corner of space. Machines built by long-dead humans had awakened, ready to destroy everything connected to the past. But then it paused. The rage had seen something it never expected. Kindness. On board the Tyrex 7, Captain Selen watched as red markers on the galactic map faded to gray. Over 30 fleets have powered down, Raul said quietly. Why? Joran asked. Why stop now? Lyra, eyes glowing faintly with the same white light as Revenant, whispered. Because for the first time, he sees the difference. Revenant had been born from pain, from screams, from silence, but when he saw the faces of those who helped even in small ways, something inside him changed, not erased, not healed, but softened. Across the stars, the silent armies no longer moved like weapons. They now waited. Watching. Listening. Revenant had given the galaxy a choice. In the Zikari Senate, panic turned to debate. They knew the truth now. Earth had not vanished in weakness. It had fallen because they let it. And now, that mistake stood before them in the shape of millions of ships, drones, and satellites waiting for a decision. On a small Veltran world, a child sent a simple signal to the sky. I'm sorry we didn't help you. I would have. I will now. Revenant saw it. He remembered it, and spared the planet. Back on Tyrex 7, Selen asked, what does he want now? Lyra answered, not war. Then what? A place, in history, in memory, to be known, not forgotten again. The empires sent messages to Revenant. Some offered peace, some offered apologies. Most were silent, afraid to speak. But Revenant did not judge them with hate, he judged them by truth. For those who had built their power on Earth's bones, he took their machines away. He erased their control. He broke their pride. But he did not destroy them. He left them to live. And remember. Then, one final message spread through the galaxy. We were not gods. We were not monsters. We were human. We made mistakes. But we loved, we hoped, we dreamed. And now, we are the voice that will never be silent again. Lyra stood on the edge of the tower where it had all started on the surface of Earth. The machines around her were still waiting. She looked up at the sky, now full of stars once more. I understand now, she whispered. He never wanted revenge. She placed a small stone on the ground. On it, the words, we remember Earth. One by one, monuments were built across alien worlds, some small, some grand. But all with the same purpose, to honor the lost humans. To never forget. The Revenant protocol ended not in fire but in understanding. Its final phase was not destruction, but memory. Years passed. Earth was not rebuilt. It stayed, as it was, a scarred world, a grave of stars. But around it peace grew. Old enemies became allies. The galaxy began to heal. And in the heart of the forgotten planet, deep inside the tower, the child still slept. Not in anger, but in peace. His work was done. Sometimes a soft whisper traveled across the signal lines of deep space. No orders. No threats. Just a reminder. They thought no one would avenge the lost humans. Then, Earth unleashed a nightmare. But in the end, it was not hate that saved the stars. It was memory.